What's going on? All thanks for tuning in once again. Let's talk boxing. Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin, as well as Vosdick versus Benavidez. You know, two good fights. I prefer the Benavidez-Vosdick fight, to be honest. I think that one's going to be a tough fight. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think it is. I think that Vosdick is a big puncher, and I mean the guy's only lost once, 80% knockout ratio. But let's break down the Tank Davis versus Frank Martin fight. So Davis, he's been through a lot of problems, personal problems, etc. And Frank Martin, this is the first time that we've seen him on a big stage. The first time that we've seen him at pay-per-view level. So this is a massive moment for him. And I mean, the guy's not even, top 5 in the lightweight division. So how does he do in this fight? I mean, he's a decent boxer, don't get me wrong. He's a decent boxer. Southpaw as well. I just think that, if he wants to win this fight, he needs to be a lot busier than Tank. We know how these judges work at times. A lot of people thought that Tank lost to Cruz. But I mean, Tank Davis, the guy is very talented. The guy can really box on the front foot, on the back foot. Basically an all-rounded great fighter, with a big power punch as well. One of the biggest punches at 135 for sure. So I mean, Frank Martin, because he's not the puncher that Davis is, he's going to have to really throw a lot of volume in this fight if he wants to win. A lot of volume. He needs to keep Tank on the outside. He can't afford Gervonta to walk him down. We know that Tank's, the most dangerous when he is walking guys down. And Frank Martin, he likes those counter punches. He likes to jump into the pocket and then, sort of wait for the counter, take a half step back. He's that sort of fighter. He's very cautious at times. But in this fight, he needs to be very careful because, normally when he jumps in, he like I'm saying, he jumps in. He jumps into the pocket. He jumps into the danger zone. He doesn't find his way through. He doesn't just try to slowly come forward. No, he jumps forward. Commits a bit too much at times. And I've seen him get caught by doing this. He will counter, then he will jump into the pocket or jump into, throwing a punch. And, if Davis is quick enough, we know that Davis, he's a guy that he likes to set traps. He likes to take guys out with that one punch. A lot of the time he says, hey, I didn't think that I hit him that hard. That's because, a lot of times guys are coming forward. They're coming into the shot, which is giving it more impact. Think Rolly versus Tank. When Rolly's got him in the corner, and he's coming forward and walks straight into the shot. Into the shot. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting one for Frank Martin. He really needs to be on his A game in this fight. At the same time, he needs to take risks. We can't have a repeat of the Lopez fight that he had, where one guy looked like he was, more busier and, thinks that he wins, and then Lopez ends up winning. We can't have that scenario. He needs to not think of this fight as winning the fight. He needs to think of this fight as every round I need to win. Okay, every round I need to win. Every round I need to do more. Every round I need to wow the crowd. I need to, really do something big, in each round in order to beat Tank on points. I don't think that he can get Tank out of there. Tank, like I said, he's fought some guys that have some big punches, you know, and he's managed to knock them out himself, you know, Garcia, as well as, you know, obviously Rolly, you know, both guys have decent punches on them. So, I mean, in this fight, Martin really needs to be careful that he doesn't jump into a shot that's going to take him out, you know. Changing his patterns is key. You know, Gervonta is a guy that, you know, once he reads the play, he's gonna execute the plan. He's gonna throw that big left hand, whether it's a straight or overhand left, you know. And because he's normally punching upright, you know, it's more of a upwards, I should say, you know. It gives it more power, you know. Some guys, when they're punching up, you know, it gives them more power, and it seems like in Gervonta's case, you know, that's exactly what happens. But, you know, mind you, I mean, I think it's mainly just big power that he has, you know, big power punches. So, I mean, I think that if the fight goes the distance, Martin's going to have to win every single round, because there's going to be moments where Tank does land punches. But Martin's going to have to convincingly win, you know, at least 8 of the 12 rounds to win this fight, and then as well as, you know, try to win every single round. You know, don't take off any rounds. Don't think that you're ahead on the cards. Try not to get backed up too much. If he is going to jump in, make sure that he's landing and he's not getting countered, because if he does get countered, you know, Gervonta Davis is that sort of fighter that can take you out with one punch. And, you know, they've both sparred each other as well, so, I mean, it's going to benefit both of them, because they have shared the ring, you know. They do sort of know each other a bit. But, I mean, I'm choosing Tank to win. I think that he does. I think that Martin does jump in and gets caught and gets knocked down. I think in the later rounds, maybe round 8, round 7, possibly later, you know, but because, you know, Martin is a decent fighter, but like I say, you know, he jumps in, commits a bit too much. With a guy like Tank, you know, you don't want to fall into one of those left hands, and I think that's what's going to happen. So that's my prediction anyway. Tank by KO. Like I said, the Vosdik fight versus Benavidez. I mean, I'm really on the fence with this one. You know, I think that a lot of people have got it wrong here. I think that Vosdik has a great chance of beating Benavidez. You know, big puncher at light heavyweight, bigger guy than Benavidez. You know, we don't really see that much, and I just think that his style as well, you know, he's not coming there to box Benavidez, he's coming there to hurt Benavidez, he's coming there to, you know, to exchange, to hurt the guy, you know. So, I mean, only having lost to Beterbiev, and we know Beterbiev's got that 100% KO ratio, you know, only having lost to him, I think that Vosdik has a good chance of beating Benavidez, you know, I really do. But I am really on the fence on this one, but I am going to go with the younger guy, Benavidez, just because of the youth that he has, and because of, you know, Vosdik, he did take time off. I know that he has had a few KO wins recently, but he did take some time off after the defeat to Beterbiev, and I think that, you know, that just shows that in the later rounds, you know, pressure fighters, if they can really get to him, you know, it takes a toll. You know, it takes a toll on him, and I think that Benavidez can get to him, but he needs to do it in the later rounds. You know, you can't get caught early. If he gets caught early, I think that Vosdik will definitely do a lot of damage, possibly knock him out. We haven't really seen the chin of Benavidez at light heavyweight too much, so, I mean, it's going to be interesting. You know, I'm looking forward to that fight the most, you know, the Benavidez versus Vosdik. Obviously, you know, Davis versus Martin, I'm expecting Davis to knock him out or win on points, depending on how Martin approaches the fight. But I just think he commits a bit too much, and I think he gets caught. That's my take anyway. Leave yours. Look forward to the comments, and I'll catch you next time. Enjoy the fights, and like I said, feel free to leave your take on it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.